So again, thank you. As mentioned, this is entitled Uncharted Territories, Redefining Our Museum's Reach through Multimodal AI. And of course, I'm presenting myself, but this work is done by the team, the whole team of DVS, among which, of course, Pepe, Ballesteros, Iacopo, Neri, Ludovica, Schaerf, and the PI, Tristan, Weddigen. So this is part of the team. There's some other fellows. We are, as mentioned, a research project funded by the Max Planck Society of Germany, but hosted at the University of Zurich in Switzerland. Basically, we look at science, history, culture, politics of image in and through the digital, and roughly speaking, in what is now termed the digital humanities. That's our area of work. So I'm going to take you on a little journey to consider what are the potentials and challenges of multimodal AI for the topics that concerns us. And first of all, I want to go back a little bit to consider what do we mean by multimodality. Of course, here is mostly going to be about the relationships between text and image, or between vision and language, for example. And it is not a new topic. This has been with us, put simply, for a long time. And if Lessons Alcon is considered one of the milestones or foundational milestones of the theoretical debates about this problematic relation between image and text, this topic did not start primarily there, and it didn't stop there, that's for sure. We are still preoccupied with this today. So I'm just gonna briefly with this slide tell you a little bit and what is being called now the multimodal turn for the digital humanities, which consists of basically a new era in which we can mobilize AI technologies and capabilities for processing and working with different modalities and connected modalities. So in this case, modalities means for AI types of data, in this case, images and text. So until the 2010, briefly, so since the beginning of digital humanities until 2010, everything was really text-based, focused on text. There was the development of OCR technologies that helped us digitize text. And this pushed very much the capabilities together with natural language processing, of course. Then from 2010, from the decade around 2000, the decade of 2010, of course, with the development of computer vision, CNNs, convolutional neural networks, and the like, helped us realize and achieve a way of working with images at scale, the same that we were doing before with texts. That was unprecedented and helped us being able to analyze and treat thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of images. And now, of course, we are entering in a new era, since we are working with models that are able, that are multimodal, that are able to consider text and image in the same abstract space, and therefore perform a type, so to speak, a translation between text and image. So this shows a clear potential, and this is kind of a very quick summary into this. There will be many other points, of course, just to give you a grasp. They can be used for a lot of different tasks, such as image-text combinations, text-to-image, image-to-text, and image-to-text prediction tasks. And of course, many of these models are very performative, as they do not, they perform really well in the wild or in zero-shot situations. That is to say, that they are able to analyze or to perform well with data that they have not seen in their training. And this is a very powerful feature, of course. Now, I want to go and explore together with you what we did for the Helsinki Biennial of just last year, in which we applied some of these models for a little project. So basically, what we did is use what is being now termed our very best friend, and it's a model, contrastive language image pre-training, released by OpenAI, a famous company. I guess everybody of you know about it already, in 2021. And that performs this kind of processing of image and text. And it's at the core, it's a foundational. So it's at the core of many different types of AI systems deployed nowadays. So for example, most of the text to image generators that you may play with and you may know, also from OpenAI, but other such as Stable Diffusion, Midjourney, etc., they involve CLIP. And that is because it can perform this type of translation. This project was commissioned by Juha Krisa, who was the head curator of the Helsinki Biennial 2023. And it was, the outputs were mostly kind of formatted for a web installation, let's say a website. And that, what did we do? So we were invited to work with a collection of this museum, the Helsinki Art Museum in Helsinki, Finland. It's a museum that has a very peculiar collection, very good one in my opinion, but very centered on Finnish art and Finnish artists. It is a museum that also embraces a very clear kind of mission, and they pride themselves for being owned by all of the citizens of Helsinki, therefore, and Finland by extension, being something that is really aiming at expressing and capturing artistic cultural heritage from Finland. From this museum, they have a collection. They have two types of collection, roughly. One is public art works, and the other one is artworks that are hosted at either the museum or in the storage. And we decided to work with them to see how could we reimagine the city of Helsinki through its collection, the collection of the museum, and also in reverse ways, how we could reimagine the collection through the city. So taking into account that the public artwork collection is spread throughout the city, and they have a lot of different locations, this is kind of well spread, of course, with certain biases towards the center of the city, we decided to perform an operation which we would try to find what would be the right location for those artworks which are not stored in the museum, which are not in the public artwork collection outdoors, but they are in the museum or in the storage. This is the final map of all of these points. And how did we do this? We start from those points that roughly here are portraying the locations of the public artworks. And we work with the collection so as to find similarities between the artworks that are already placed outdoors in the city and those who are in the storage or in the museum through textual descriptions. So we perform a kind of a similarity operation, but not visual similarity. Actually, we extracted descriptions with the aid of AI of these artworks, and we compared them, arriving at a place where we chose those locations for those artworks which were not outdoors. From those locations, we chose data that would represent that location. In this case, we decided, as this was going to be an online installation, an online work, accessed from the internet, we thought we would do what people do when they don't know Helsinki, even when they know Helsinki, which is to go to Google Street Map and navigate. So we decided to work with urban street panoramas, 360 panoramas that are used by Google Street View in order to represent those particular locations. Therefore, what the operation followed us that we, from these particular locations represented by these 3D panoramas, we pair them with particular artworks inside the collection. Then, as I said briefly before, we wanted to embrace an intuition about what could we add about that collection, especially what could we add for a culturally agnostic audience. mostly those who visit the biennial online, who do not know anything about Helsinki, who hardly know anything about the Helsinki Art Museum, and nevertheless are curious to discover. So we decided, instead of to fight or to educate this lack of knowledge and try to educate the audience, we decided to embrace this cultural agnosticity and try to see how could they see the city through the collection. By performing this pairing between a painting and a street view panorama, arguably much less appealing, we didn't do it. We wanted to still capture some of the spatial information that these panoramas may have. So we derived a depth estimation of this using another AI model that will give us, let's say, an estimation of the depth of field of view in that image. What objects are close, what objects are. Therefore, capturing a little bit the geometry of the space. Then, from the painting or artwork, we would extract, using a specific model, a text description. A text description that is used for models. It's not a simple caption. It's a text description that is used for generating. It's like a prompt that will be used for a generative AI to generate an image. So what would be the text prompt that would have been necessary to generate the artwork in the very first place? And we used Stable Diffusion, a model, to generate finally images based on that prompt, guided by the depth estimation. There's a little video that hopefully captures process. This is the depth map. This is the imagined panorama. This is another imagined panorama with the same kind of geometries. This is yet another coming from different artworks. And this is the original street view panorama. In this operation, what we do, and I guess a lot of people will have questions and doubts about the technical details of this operation. We somehow, as said in the abstract, we try to embrace not AI as something that is trying to replace, but something that tries to accompany our process of discovery. Of course, this is done arguably in a very naive and playful way, as we think that there's still a lot to explore. And also the challenges and limitations of these models are yet to be fully discovered and fully explored by keeping them close and playing with them. Apart from this, once this work was done, we also, for our research interest, wanted to perform an evaluation of this operation. We wanted to perform, of course, a quantitative evaluation on the quality of the final panoramas based on color coherence or structural coherence using different methods, such as methods focusing on color and structure. I will not go into these details now. And a qualitative evaluation through a questionnaire, in which we asked visitors of the biennial, or people who had not visited, but they visited and explored our piece, if they could identify the original artwork and the generated panorama. This is a very challenging task, as there's not an image-to-image process. Everything is mediated through text and also through a depth map of a street view panorama. Here you see, for example, in the illustration, these kind of three elements. You don't see here the textual prompt. The results of this showed that basically it was not bad. People, it's arguably not many people, but in the results of the survey showed us that despite everything and despite not working with image to image and also working with a clip, a model which is a general learner, this needs to be said, is not a specialist model that has a lot of domain knowledge. It's not an art historian. It's not been trained on art or on cultural heritage. It's been trained on millions of pairs of image and text gathered from the internet, very random sort of information, but nevertheless, it's able to learn general concepts. Using this model and these others, this stack of other models that we were using, we were still able to capture certain type of mood of the painting. And the audience seemed to have appreciated or at least spotted it out. We also obviously wanted to consider what we were doing with respect to the geography of Helsinki in other ways. Obviously, there is already a lot of biases in the way. This is one of the challenges of AI. Clearly, the biases that are stuck in its functioning. We wanted also to be aware of not adding also many more human types of biases in our operation, and we wanted to understand what does it mean to spread out artworks around the geography of Helsinki, and what it means in terms of inequalities in accessibility to such artworks in the real context of the real geography of Helsinki. Also, as part of the research, considering these biases, we wanted to be aware and actually make people aware of the stacked biases that are always involved in these operations so far. And I think this is a key result of this project and this research, in which I think we need more of this type of research in which we try to visualize and summarize the set of biases that are already involved in this operation, as not to only focus on one and forget about others, which are equally potentially pernicious or also, why not, interesting to explore. This was, and this is the QR code for you to be able to visit the website of the project, which is entitled Newly Formed City, and is done in collaboration with internet artist Jae-won Kwon from South Korea. The artwork is, the project is hosted so far, but once the biennial project website will stop hosting it because they will move on into the new biennial content, it will move to curator.org. And I leave you with overview of the type of panoramas that we created, the synthetic panoramas and the inspiring artworks on the lower right-hand side. And with this, I think that's all from my side. Thank you.